Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the match preview. Crystal Palace home Friday night. Feeling that?
Footy, not at all. Saturday 3, get it done.
Not feeling Friday nights at all. Although I think we've won the last couple. I think we beat Fulham 2-1 in the FA Cup. I think we've beat Spurs.
Beat Fulham on a Friday night 4-1 as well.
Yeah, there you go.
James Vaughan scored and things like that.
Okay, Fridays.
Yeah. So maybe they're great.
Alright for fight.
Love it, yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
Beat Chelsea on a Friday in '84.
We did.
Won the league.
We did. Silver kit.
Yeah, Kevin Richo.
So yeah, Fridays anyway.
When we beat Newcastle on a Friday night when Alakachi scored 2 when we won the FA Cup.
We did.
So yeah, Friday's alright, yeah.
A good Friday.
It was a good Friday.
They're all good Fridays.
It was a great Friday, Ped.
Crystal Palace, difficult. Everything. Oh, when you've lost a game, everything seems difficult, doesn't it? They've won their last 3, including a couple of away games, Middlesbrough and Sunderland. Now, obviously, we've beaten both of them. So, but yeah, impressive. Beat Stoke 4-0. We've beaten Stoke
4-1.
Yeah. So, Saturday they played Sunderland 2-0 behind, half an hour to go, and ended up winning 3-2. So they're going to be bouncing hard. The confidence is going to be flying. Pards is going to be there.
Benteke.
White teethed up, him and the owner, ready to go to Stringfellows or whatever. They go straight after the game, so it's not going to be easy.
It's going to be very tough. We haven't beaten them since they were re-promoted. At Goodison, beat them away, not beat them at Goodison. We'd lost that 2-3-2 defeats, and last year we actually played quite well last year at Goodison. We drew 1 each with them, didn't we? Always a tough game, but you know, it's about us, isn't it? I always believe at home it's about Everton. I'm not really bothered about the opposition. If we do the right things and start right and get in the game, we will win the game.
Yeah.
But they're dangerous.
Yeah, they're dangerous, and I think they have a lot of players that are confidence players, and when they get Palace are very good at getting into runs, and then and then also it's the flip side when they get on bad runs, they seem to last for, and that was basically the tale of last season for them. Yeah. First half season great run, second half bad run, and it evened itself out in the end. But it'll be a tough game, and Andros Townsend's playing well for them. They've got Benteke scoring because you know, who'd have thought it? Put crosses in the box for Benteke and he'll score
and he'll
goals.
Let them in.
You know what I mean? That's food and drink for Benteke. So they're playing to Benteke's strengths. Townsend seems to be getting a bit of license to play his own game. Got Sahar on the other side, because obviously it used to be Sahar and Balassi. You know, it's Townsend and Sahar. They've got quite a combative midfield. They've got Ledley in there as well. James McArthur. So they're organised. They've moved someone like Scott down at the back, decent goalkeeper. They've got a little bit of organisation that is basically what you need to get you mid-table in the Premier League. I think you need a little bit extra to get you to try and challenge for Europe. I suppose that's what Kabay was for. Didn't quite work second half of last season when they needed, again as I say, they needed a little bit more graft and a little bit toughen up. But after a dodgy start and a lot of Palace fans questioning things the last few games, after they brought in, you know, I think Benteke for them was like not saying he's the final piece in the puzzle, but for this stage of for this stage of where they are, he was the final piece in the puzzle to say, right, we're going to cement ourselves as a upper mid-table team, and Benteke was just like the final piece for them for that.
Yeah, I took Benteke, said it in many videos.
But even for 30 million,
without question.
But if we'd signed them, we wouldn't have got Balassi.
We might have done. Why?
They used the Balassi money to buy him.
Yeah, but it's not there in all day, is it? Balassi wanted to come to us, we wanted him. It was always happening. They've had him and Benteke, they've been all day. But he's doing well for them, and like we said, he put delivery in. He's brilliant in the air. He's probably the best header of the ball in the Premier League. If you give him that kind of service. Saying that, the goal he scored at the weekend was a great header, but Sunderland just let him run. Unmarked and header crossing. So
in the 94th minute,
you know, you'd have to be wary of that. I mean, the thing that happened at the weekend, they started well and Sunderland scored against the run of play, but then took over. went 2-0 up and done that thing, conceded within a minute of scoring that second goal. If they'd have got 5 minutes at 2-0, everything would probably settled down, he might have held on. And Palace are good at that, they'll hit you fast and they're strong, but we're at home, you know, and we're good at stuff. You know, we need Lukaku on his day.
Yeah.
We need Balassi won't need firing up for this. That's all. He'll be ready for this. You know, but there's key areas where we need. I mean, there's talk Leighton Baines may return.
God, I hope so.
You know, if he doesn't, I want to see Funes Mori there. I'm sorry for the height and everything else. I want him in at left back, all 3 centre backs. I want him in there. I want Ross sat on the bench. You know, my mate Tom's snapping people in games this week for the 23s, full of energy. I want him in there. You know, and we need to mix it up a little bit and give them something different to think about.
I think as well, what we've seen last couple of games for them is they are scoring a lot of goals from crosses into the box, whether it be set piece or whether into the game, and you'd like to hope that that's food and drink for the likes of Ashley Williams, likes of Jagielka, if Funes Mori plays. It's not necessarily food and drink for Funes Mori, but for those two,
there's a threat in there.
And if we can stop, like the manager will be hopefully you'll be working on that all week, stopping the cross in the first place. I mean, we haven't always been brilliant at it. Okay, we've never been brilliant at it. But if it's something they work on, if we can stop the delivery coming into the box, I think we can. I'm hoping we can deal with it anyway if it does come in. But if we can stop it, then I think that you're going to nullify them, and you're going to stop. I mean, let's be honest. Down the middle of the park, they're sort of solid and combative, but they're not exactly, you know, a brilliant passing side. I mean, I give them credit because this is what they've set out to do. They're doing really well, and in football, that's all you need. Don't try and be something. Don't try and be something you're not. No. That's the downfall of most football teams. Play to your strengths. Be what you are. They're a great team of set pieces. Scott Dan, fantastic for getting set piece goals. So we've got to be very, very wary. So we've got to make sure that we cut out all those things that cause us so much heartache in
silly mistakes, silly free kicks given away, block crosses, and we do that, and we have our energy back, Garner back. You know, hopefully Gareth Barry will have had a few days rest and his ankle will have settled and he'll be able to train and he'll be back on it. Hopefully Rom will have had a couple of days off, get the toe right, get him ready and firing. You know, mix up the subs, get some kids on there who've got a bit of energy or a little bit of a different, so you've got a different thing to throw at them, and go, and the crowd will be up for it, and there's no reason why we can't get back to winning ways. We can go second if we win. I know it's very early, but that's still good, and it's putting points on the board. If we can win Friday, we've got 16 points.
Well, it's also that case that it's the last game before an international weekend as well, and you want to go out on a bit of a high, knowing that you're coming back and playing a couple of away games, City and Burnley. So you don't want to be going into an international weekend having that bad taste in your mouth. You know, it will be 3 defeats in a row. That then for some people the panic starts to set in a little bit. So it's really important that we're positive and. As I say, they're a decent side, but you know, and I'm sure they won't be feeling anyone. But at the same time, you know, if you want to do anything in the Premier League, you've got to beat the likes of Palace at home. You've got to.
If we come out of Bournemouth and Crystal Palace with no points, that's terrible, really.
It is,
because we're saying we want to fight for Europe and getting into that European place so that we can attract better players to take the club on and on and on. These are the games you've got to get a result.
I think we've got to take our chances as well, because we haven't scored in the last 2 games. And I know it's only 2 games, but we haven't scored in those, and
we've had 3 good chances at Bournemouth, and I haven't taken any of them.
We've got to start. You know, I know against Borough we did take our chances to our credit, and we've got to just be a little bit more
clinical. At Sunderland we got 3, we should have had 8. Really. You know, if you want to really be harsh about it, we could have had definitely 5 or 6.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel as though we can create that many chances. What I want to see against Palace, just quickly before we wrap it up, I want to see us start quick. Get a shot in the first minute, get the crowd lifted, put them on, make them feel we're under the cosh immediately. Because that's what Liverpool are doing really well at the moment. They're fast out the blocks and they're forcing teams onto the back foot.
Definitely.
If we start slowly and allow them to grow into the game, and do what Middlesbrough done, we're going to struggle.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's a game.
It's a fairly balanced game.
It is. It's a tight game, and the first goal might be key, and we need to take the lead because it's 3 games on the run now. We haven't scored first.
And these are the games, as I say, these are the games that you look at and you think they're a decent side, they're an organised side, but we've got to be beating them. If you want to have any aspirations of finishing Europe, you've got to be beating those teams. You've got to be beating those teams that you look at and think, like, these are going to finish below, let's say, 8th place. You've got to beat them. You've got to beat those at home. You've got to beat them.
That builds your season. If you beat the likes of these teams, that just puts that daylight between them and you. They're 9th now, Palace. We beat them, that puts that daylight there already. Sometimes that daylight's too much for a lot of these teams to make up. So it carries you when you're having a little bit of a bumpy run. You've still got the buffer. If we lose the weekend and everyone else wins, all of a sudden we're just bunched in and it's like, yeah, Everton had an average start.
Then go to the Etihad.
Then all of a sudden get beat there, then you're 10th or 11th, and then it's like, yeah, we had the first few games were great, but we dropped right off. Whereas if we win, we can have the break, like you say, we go to the Etihad second, or certainly up there going, tell you what, we can cause City a few problems here after this international break.
And then it's almost like, for me saying it, you lose that game, then you go,
well, the chances are they both play to the best of their ability. City will win.
Yeah, and if we do lose that game, then you just go, well, okay, we've lost that game, but we're still alright, and we'll go on to the next one. Whereas you don't want that. You don't want that. No. You don't want things to just fall off a cliff very quickly.
I think I think the players will be really frustrated after that week. It's been a poor week. Bounce back all week, work on it, the game. It's good for us really, because it's the work, just focus solely on that game. It's Friday night, get to Friday night. The crowd should be well up for it. Hopefully some lads will finish work at 5 and be blathered and be singing and getting the place bouncing, and we'll be right on it, and it'll be a tough game, but we need to beat these, because we owe them.
We need to beat them, simple as that.
There
you go. Tell us what you think. Have we got enough to beat Palace? Are you worried about their recent form? What do you think we need to do to get the 3 points in this game? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.